Awe. So let's continue with Venn diagrams. I just want to say, right, from the previous video, we did get these few things. So, of course, you have your square. I mean, I think you can make it any shape. It's a square, rectangle, circle, don't matter. But square is the standard. And then you'd have your different events. There could be. So remember, if we have two events and they are like this is mutually exclusive events, right? But when you are about to solve something, right, and you don't know what kind of events they are, you will do something like this. And if they are mutually exclusive, the number here is gonna be zero, right? If you wanna do it this way, right? And yeah, otherwise the number here can be a number above zero, which means that they are not mutually exclusive, and so forth and so forth. And here, anywhere outside, so let me say this is my A and this is B. So you know that anywhere outside these two circles, which remember, circle A is event A, circle B is event B, anything that is not event A and B is going to be outside this circle. So anywhere inside this rectangle, that's gonna be any event that happens or that could happen that is not part of event A and B. This is just a young reminder, and usually here we will write the sample space to say, okay, we have a total of 30, 40, whatever, right? So cool. Let's now jump in to solve this question. Cool. So a survey was conducted at Mutende Primary School to establish how many of the 650 learners buy fat cooks and how many buy sweets during the break, right? And this is the information we have, that 50 learners bought nothing, 400 bought fat cook, and 300 bought sweets, right? So low key, I want to say this. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw these 3 points, I thought of having three circles. One circle will be for event nothing, meaning that these people, they bought nothing. And then another circle will be for fat cooks, people who bought fat cooks, and another circle will be for people who bought sweets. Nah, that's what I thought, but I then remembered to say no. Actually, I can have two circles, one for buying your fat cooks and one for buying sweets, and then the 50, which is nothing, I'm gonna put it outside both circles, so that would be anywhere inside my rectangle, but of course outside the, you know what I mean. So let me do my thing. I have my my circles, there they are, and then I know the number as, right, it's 650. There are 650 learners, and then remember, this is, I'll say fat cook for V and then sweets for S, right? And cool stuff. So, and here, because this, I have 50 people who are buying nothing, right? And by nothing we mean they are not buying fat cooks, they're not buying sweets, right? So that number 50 is gonna be in, yeah, anywhere outside. And also I want to say this is the correct way of doing it, is the proper way of doing it, but it could be possible that someone also thought it to say, oh, actually I'm gonna have another circle, so I'll have three circles. Let me then they like, okay, this is going to be my circle, just making an example. All right, this person, the only way, and okay, say they say this circle is for those who bought nothing, so the N is for nothing. This person will only be correct, ne? Will only be correct if he puts the 50 here, right? So here there will be no number, here there will be no number. or maybe, yeah, there won't be any number here, and there won't be any number here, because anywhere here it is to say our guy bought nothing and fed cooks, which doesn't make sense, right? Either you bought nothing or you bought fed cooks. And here it means, so on this square, right? No, not the square, but on this area, it means that we are saying that our guy, he bought fed cooks, he bought sweets, and he bought nothing, which still doesn't make sense, right? And this one, here we are saying that our guy bought what? Sweets and nothing, which also doesn't make sense. So the only way in which the person can be right is if he puts the 50 here, right? So but I'm gonna say forget about this, right? To be safe, this is, you can just leave it like this, and you'd be the safest person on earth. Cool. So let's read. So they say, okay, so for the learners who bought, okay, so here's another thing also, that you see there is 400 learners who bought fed cooks. There's 300 learners who bought what? Sweets. And if you take that 400, you add 300, you are getting what? 700, right? Which is, this 700 is what? It's greater than 650, right? So the 700 is greater than 650, right? Which, right, I think from there you're also getting an idea to say, okay, so I will not write 400 here to say I have 400 who bought fed cooks, and I won't write 300 here. And the reason is because you know that this 400, it's the number here, let me say A and B, right? So in that sense, I'm saying A plus B is equals to 400, right? And then I'll write C here, and then you know that the 300, right? Oh, so this one is for fed cooks, and then the 300 is made up of B plus C is equals to 300, right? So that's what you know, that B and C combined together, they give you 300. A and B combined together, they give you 400, right? And now when you add A plus B plus C plus 50, it will give you exactly 650, all right? And by that we also saying A plus B plus C will give you what? Will give you 600. Do you understand? So I hope it's clear in pictures. Things are starting to be clear. And of course, I forgot to write this one will be for sweets. Yeah, so let's start working. Damn, did I do that? Damn, I forget. So okay, we are trying to represent this information in a Venn diagram, which is what I'm doing. So we have to find the value for A, the value for B, the value for C, right? And let's cook. Alright, cool. Perhaps I didn't have to delete that. I think let me out. So of course, okay, let me not delete anything. In fact, I'll use everything like this. So here you are seeing that cool stuff. All right, I'll say this is of course equation 1, this is equation 2, right? But maybe for that I can just say this can also be written. So I'll say here this is B equals to 400 minus A, right? And then here I can say B equals to C 300 minus C. All right. And yeah, all right. So I need to find out the value for A and the value for C. All right, I need to find out the value for A and the value for C. Now the question is, how do I do that? How do I do that? One equation which is very helpful is this one, right? And of course, let me put it here. This is the equation, and remember this equation for equals to 600, we got it from A plus B plus C plus 50 gives us 650. All right, so allow me to remove this one. I'm running out of space. I'm running out of space. So we have this equation, we have this equation, and we have this equation. We can use all of these to get to come on, bro. We can use these to get to what? To get the value of A and C and B as well. Cool. So from 1 and 2, I can say B equals to B, which is going to give me it's gonna give me 400 minus A equals to 300 minus C, right? So then I get if I transpose, I have 400 minus 300, right, is going to be equals to, so remember 400 minus 300 is 100, ne? 400 minus 300 is 100, and so I'm transposing 300. This is just a mess, guys. I'm running out of space, that's why I'm writing it this way. So remember, I transposed 300 to that side, so I'm gonna take A to that side and it's gonna be positive, so I have A minus C, right? So yeah, so the equation that I'm getting here, I'm getting that 100 equals to A minus C, right? Now I'm gonna start using this one. You see, I'm gonna start using this one, and to use that one, I want to use this equation for B, because I have B here, so I'm gonna substitute this B, and I have from this, I can say that A equals to 100 plus C. Now that is A, so I'm gonna substitute. Wait. A equals to, so that means, okay, because now this equation, it has A, right? So I want to use, you see this one, it has C, so I'm gonna use this one, not this one, right? Yeah, so let me make up some space. Oh no, delete. Right, so now I'm gonna substitute my A, right? A is what? A is 100 plus C, that is A, and then B, I'm using this one, eh? So B is plus 300 minus C, and I have plus C, right? This is B, and then so this is B, this is B, this is A, and this is C, right? Everything must give me 600, and if I do my workings, these of course they go into minus to 0, and then here I have 400, so I'm getting C plus 400 equals to 600, implying that C is equals to 600 minus 400, which is 200, right? So that means C is 200, so this side, this is 200, né? And if C is 200, that means B is going to be 300 minus 200, which is 100, right? And so it is going to be 100, so B, this side, B is going to be 100, and here I am getting that A is what? A is 100 plus C, which is C, remember we calculated it to be 200, so 200, so we're gonna get, of course, 300. So this one is what? This one is 300. And now look, remember we have 400 learners who bought sweet, so the number here 300 plus 100, that is 400, né? And then we also had 300 learners who bought sweets, and it's 100 plus 200, né? Yeah, so remember we used three equations. It was this one and this one and this one, and if you go back you will see how we got to derive those formulas, right? So now our Venn diagram is complete. Now, maybe let me remove these values, but now our Venn diagram is complete. All the numbers, if you add them, I have 300 plus 100 plus 200 plus 50. If I add all the numbers appearing on my Venn diagram, I must get 650, which means everything is fine. Now I can answer questions, right? So yeah, let me remove this, calculations, delete. And the question is like, if the learners are chosen at random, calculate the probability that this learner buys, right? So now this time we answer question. So they bought sweets only. So the people who bought sweets only, it's these guys, né? So that means the answer for sweets only is going to be 200 over 650, because this side is only for sweets. And if we're talking about fat cooks only, it's this side. So that means we're talking about 300 over 650, right? Cool. Now they say neither fat cooks nor sweets. So this person bought no fat cooks, they bought no sweets, and here's the value outside there, which is 50 over 650. You see? Cool. Here they're asking fat cooks and sweets. So these are the people who bought both fat cooks and sweets, and the number is here in the intersection. So that is 100 over 650. That's our probability. And then you get this great question saying fat cooks or sweets. Remember, we have the probability of all, we say probability of A or B is going to be probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B, right? So that means if we use this formula, it's gonna be probability of fat cook and sweets will be equals to the probability of fat cook, right, plus the probability of sweets minus probability of fat cook and sweets, which is what? Probability of fat cooks is 400 over 650. Probability of sweets is 300 over 650 minus the O is gonna be 100. No, the end is gonna be the 100 over 650, right? And we have 700, 600, so that it's like 600 over 650, and this is the answer for the either. So yeah, 4 plus 3 minus 1. Yeah, you see, so that's how it's done. Nah, let's do the last question. So the last question, they say we have 30 learners, so that's the total. So we can say here as that is equals to 30, right? And 18 learners taking geo, and 18 learners taking geo, 10 learners taking French, and 6 take history but not geography and not French. And here are the letters, of course, G for geo, French and history, right? And cool. From the information above, we must calculate the value of x, y, z, w, x, y, z, né? So we can start. I think the simplest one, the easiest one, if you look at the question, is what? Is y, right? I'm going to tell you that y is equals to 6. The reason I'm saying that, look at y. why is the number of people taking only history? It's only history. They are not taking geography, no French. It's just history. And here they told us that 6 take history, but neither geo or French, right? So that's why I would say why is the easiest. Ne? And now let's look. How many learners take geography? It's 18. That means I take the number here, the number here, the number here, the number here. I take all these numbers and I add them together. They must give me 18. Because remember, all these numbers that I circled, they are inside the circle of geography, implying that the whole circle, they must give us a total number of 18, saying that there are 18 kids doing geo. So that means I would say 18 is equals to, now look, I have 8 plus 1 plus w plus w plus 1, right? This is one thing, then right? So I have 1 here. Okay, let me just say 18 plus 9 plus w plus 1 plus w, right? You're already seeing here this is going to be 2w, right? And here you have a 10, so that is what, 18 minus 10, so 2w, 8, and then w equals to 4, right? So now we have w, which is 4. Perhaps I can write them as well. Say w is 4, w is 4, so this is 4, this is 6. Now I think we can find x, and with x is the same ideology. Remember, there are 10 learners who take French, so the number here, x and 3 and w and 1 must give you what? It must give you 10, right? So same procedure, same procedure. Delete. Cool. So we have what we have 10 is equals to, we look at the numbers, it's, you have x plus 3 plus w plus 1, right? That's what is inside the circle. It's x plus 3 plus w plus 1. But the thing is, we found w, which was what? Which was 4. So that means this is 7, this is yes, this is 7, this is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8, right? So that's gonna be 10 minus 8, which is 2, which is x, right? So x is going to be 2. X equals to 2, right? And let's see what's next. Delete. So we found w, y, x, it's z. So now I will say, remember, z represents number of people who are taking not geography, who are taking not French, who are taking not history. So that means I'm going to have what? I can do this. I can say 30, because I know that if I take any number, not any, if I take every number inside my square or rectangle, the total number that I should have is 30, right? So I'm gonna say 30 is equals to, right, and I'm gonna add all of them. I'm gonna start with this circle, 8 plus 1 plus, I have w here, but I know w is 4, so I'll say 4. And then here it's w plus 1, so that is 4 plus 1, so I'll just write maybe plus 4 plus 1, right? So I'm done with the circle. I have x plus x, I have 3 plus 3 plus y, so everything is inside, no plus z. And I know y is 6, so let me say 6. So it's 8 1 w plus 1, that is cool. I have x, I have 3, and then I have y, which is 6, and z, right? 30 equals to, it's going to be z. Oh, and also I know x to be 2. Right, yeah, so I have 8 plus 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6. The number I have is 29, right? Saying that 30 minus 29 equals to z, which is 1, right? So now I have all my values. Z equals to 1. So yeah, I have all my values. This is 1, this is 6, this is 2, this is total is 5, and here it's 4, right? So now I can answer the questions. I can answer. Did I copy? No. Delete. Now I can answer this question. Any question that comes from this Venn diagram, I'm gonna kill it. Determine the probability that the learner chosen at random will be from these groups. They take only geography. So let's look. 8 is the number for people only taking geography. So that means the probability will be 8 over 30. Remember, 30 is the total number of people. And then takes French and history, but not geography. So it's French and history, but not geography. So that means the geography circle must not be included. And this is what? This is 3, right? So that means the answer is going to be 3 over 30, right? Which is 1 over 10, which is 0.1 or 0. Yeah, it's 0.1. Is that so? Yes, that is so. That is so. It should be so. Yeah, 0.1. So basically any question that comes from this, you'll be able to answer it because you have your Venn diagram is clean, you have all the values that you need, and booyah, total is yours. I will see you in the next video where we'll be doing some exam questions. How